money, every penny that you make may go back to the school. Till before you start up your school, you need to start advertising like 3 months or 4 months before the actual date. Don't just think that if you start advertising that people will register in the first 2 months. You'll be surprised that a month will pass, nobody will register. Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's the real Ijoma here, and in today's video we are going to learn how to start up a fashion school, how to start up a proper fashion school. I am not an expert in this business, so everything and anything that I am going to say in this video is based on experience. It is out of experience. You know, they say that experience is the best teacher. Nobody like told me how this business would be before I ventured into it, but today I am into it. I am thriving, I am learning, and I am growing. So any advice or anything that I'm going to tell you, just take it as your fellow tailor that has been through that process is telling you. You know, I made a video the last time telling you guys that I am no longer a tailor, like I don't sew anymore. Yes, I was once a roadside tailor, not just a tailor. I'm not a posh tailor back then. I used to be a roadside tailor, and I transitioned into teaching on YouTube, online, and then fashion school. Okay, like I properly established my fashion school in 2022. It's not been a long time. I have been teaching people physically. You know, that is one mistake that some of us do make. I've been teaching people physically, but I can't really say that it was a fashion school. So the reason why I said that I established my fashion school in 2022 is because that was when I registered my school. That was when I focused on teaching entirely. You can be sewing and still have a fashion school and still run a fashion academy. That is okay, but I am saying that I established it in 2022 because that was when I started or set up a fashion school professionally, or like a standard fashion school. Okay, now somehow you may be asking yourself what you need to start a fashion school. Okay, now take it from me as someone that started sewing with just one sewing machine. Now this is how I started. Fashion school does not really mean that you will have the biggest space. It does not mean that you must have the flashiest or the classiest duplex or the finest bungalow. When I started teaching, I was in a very small roadside. Then I was teaching. At a point, I decided to start up a fashion academy, but I can't really call it a fashion academy back then because it wasn't a registered school. So the first thing that you need to do as a tailor or as a designer that wants to start up this fashion school business is that you must be registered. And then registration has two types. We have business name registration and we have company incorporation. We have that normal business registration that a lot of small businesses do, and we have a proper company incorporation or company registration. Two different types of registration. So the first one, which is business name registration, is actually cheaper, but you cannot do much with it, while company incorporation is more expensive. But I have a very good person that can help you register this. I will tag her name later. I have a very good lawyer that can help you register your business properly, and you don't have to be scared. You will have your company incorporation, you will have your company seal, like a proper stamp, you have your letterhead, so that whenever your students go out there with your certificate, your school will have a proper registration number. It will have a proper academy. You know, when it comes to this company incorporation, they have different categories. They will ask you the one that you fall under. So they have education, they have so many aspects of this. I am telling you this as someone that has gone through this process. Okay, now if you want to start up a fashion school, the first thing that you are going to do is to register your business. Secondly, structure your business. Do not just start a fashion school and just call it fashion school, because I'm seeing a lot of people along the road that call themselves fashion academy, fashion this, fashion that, but if you ask them for a syllabus, they can't give it to you. If you ask them for a course outline, they can't give it to you. They don't even know what we call beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So you need to structure your school. You need to have different programs. Like for me, I have beginners, I have intermediate, and I have advanced. Then under these beginners, you need to list the things that they are going to learn. For me, I did my own week by week. I have week 1, week 2, week 3, and you need to list every topic and subtopic that they are going to learn. This thing will save you stress, and it will also save your students stress, because as they are coming into your school, they have already gone through the syllabus, they have seen their course outline, they already know what they will learn. And you at the other side, on the other side, you already know that you are not owing them more than what they have in their course outline. So if you want to teach them anything outside what you wrote in your course outline, it will be out of your maybe abundance, or if you want to teach them anything like that, because you can't start a school without a syllabus. You must have your course outline, your beginners introduction to tailoring, how to use a sewing machine, blah blah blah, skirts, 6 pieces, 8 pieces, and whatsoever. In your intermediate, you may have a professional trouser, jumpsuit, blazer, cargo pants, streetwears, civil wedding, all those things. That's manipulation. In your advanced, you will have your wedding gown, your reception, hip padding, bust caging, and all those upgrade things that we do these days. Okay, then the next thing that you are going to do is to prepare their certificates. You need to certify your students. So as they are coming in, you should be preparing their certificates. Then this part is a very critical part, because if they are coming, if you want to maintain the integrity of your school, if you want your school to have integrity, you need to have some guidelines. These are the mistakes that I made. You see, when I started running my school, I was so free. Like, I was thinking that this is just a regular apprentice. No, you need to structure, because I have made so many mistakes. I even told you guys about how I was dropped. That was part of the mistakes too, because how do they say it? I lose guard, right? Yes, so you don't need to lose guard in this business. You need to have not like strict, but a standard, and you need to have policies, so that if they are coming into your school, they already know what they are expecting. If you are my students, many of them may be watching me. If you are my students, I will always tell you that if you don't finish what you have in your course outline, I will not certify you. I will not give you a certificate. I have trained so many students, but only few have my certificates. Do you know why? Some people will be like, it is not a good thing. Okay, fine, it is not a good thing, right? But then what's the need when so many people out there have my certificate? So with Ijoma, I have a brand, and I'm in the public eye. I have something to protect. I can't just write a certificate and sign a certificate and give to just anybody. I need to make sure that if you go out there, you are representing me. That is how to protect the integrity of your school. Anybody can go out there and claim that the land's from me. Ask them for their certificates I gave them. Okay, so before I give any of my students a certificate, I will tell you that you need to learn all you have in your course outline, and you need to submit your practicals, including your final project. So don't just certify anybody out of pity. I have some people that come to me on Instagram and they tell me to like give them a certificate. They can pay me. They will ask me. Some people do come to my IG and tell me that I should give them my certificate so that they will pay me. Like, pay me to get my certificate. So what if you go out there and you have an issue, and then in your certificate it is boldly written that you went through intermediate training in my school, and you can't even cut a proper bustier? So I always tell them that I cannot, no matter how juicy the offer is, I always turn it down. That is one of the importance of certification. Okay, this is also part of the structuring of your school. Now when it comes to space, start up with 1 space or 2. If you are living in a flat, or if you have a flat, you can decide to start up with 1 bedroom or 2. Okay, you don't need to start up that much. When I started, I'm in Enugu. When I started, I don't know if you know where they call Holy Ghost. That was Tech roundabout. So I rented a big space that it should be the size of this room times 2. Okay, I was paying like 600k that time, and I started with it, and it was a scary step. Oh, I started with that space. I started with few machines. I already have 2 industrial machines and 1 manual plus 1 weaving, so all of them were like 4. 2 straight sewing industrial, sorry. Ooh. Sorry, my sitting position wasn't that good. So I started with 2 straight sewing, 1 weaving and 1 manual. That was just 4, right? Then when people were registering, I said, before you start up your school, you need to start advertising like 3 months or 4 months before the actual dates. Don't just think that if you start advertising that people will register in the first 2 months. You'll be surprised that a month will pass, nobody will register, but you need to continue. So I started with just 2 straight sewing, 1 manual, 1 weaving, and when people started registering, I started buying tabletop, the second-hand tabletop, and that machine served me. I bought like 4 from Lagos that time. They sent it to me. Just I bought 5 of it, right? Only 4 were working. The other one wasn't okay, but the machines actually saved me because they were cheaper that time, 35k. So I used 150k to buy how many that time? Yes. So that was it. I started with time. As people were coming, I was buying. The thing is that the money you make in the first 2-3 years may go back to the fashion school. Don't expect any income during your first 2-3 years. Every money, every penny that you make may go back to the school. Till now, I am still spending. Okay, now I'm no longer buying machines like that because the ones I have are actually okay. So if you have 20 machines, maybe 20 machines can serve like 35-40 students, because all of them do not come every time, and some will come if some sets are drafting, the other sets will be sewing, just like that. You cannot give them machines each, like 1 person each at the first stage. They can share, you can pair them, then later, with by God's grace, you may start getting enough money, and then you can continue buying 1 each. Then what I did was that I started buying more machines. Now I'm no longer buying so many machines. So if you start from 2 rooms to 3 rooms, before you know it, you grow. Just get ready to spend. Till now, I am still spending. I have, from that first office that I was at, I moved to a bungalow, 3-bedroom bungalow. This place that this incident happened. Now I am looking for a bigger space. I'm looking for a duplex currently. I did not start with a duplex, so don't be confused by what you see online. These people have stories. I have told you how I moved from a shop to a bungalow. From a bungalow, I'm looking for a duplex so that I can have a hostel inside my school. Then another thing is accommodation. School is nothing without accommodation. Take universities for an instance. Many universities have accommodation because people travel to go to schools. Many of us did not school in our state, so accommodation is the beauty of a fashion school, because you may sit and watch yourself lose so many students because you don't have accommodation. So if you can get at least 1 room, if you can rent a flat, then use 1 room as an accommodation. That is if you trust them, or if you know that they will not steal your stuff. You can use 1 room and invest in bunks. Do not buy normal bed for them. Buy bunks, because bunks will save space and accommodate more people. 2 bunks will accommodate 4 students. Okay, so you can have 4 students per room. Okay, that is how you can start. Me, when I started, my school was in a different place, my house was in a different place, my hostels were in different locations, like self-con 2. So imagine how much I was spending. That was why I went into this bungalow right now, because every year I'll just pay once and rest. Okay, so that's it. You need to find a way to cut down costs so that you will not be paying rent all the time, because you pay your house rent, you pay your school rent, and you pay hostel fee. So if you have a way of keeping your hostel inside your school, it would be better. So these are the important things that you need to learn. Then when it comes to the costing, how much you should be charging, it is up to you. The number 1 thing that influences the pricing is location. Location is the number one factor, because the rent varies according to locations, right? So if you're in Abuja, maybe your beginner should be around 200k, 250k for 3 months, intermediate maybe 200 or 250 or 150 for 3 months, advanced maybe 200, 250, 150 for 3 months. Over here we are not charging anything. 100k you can do beginners, okay? Because there is no money in the east like that. So these are the things you should put into considerations before you start up a fashion school. If you are interested in registering your business, you can drop a comment in the comment section. If you need personal coaching, you can also drop a comment in the comment section, okay? So these are the things. Now when your student comes to your school, you should at least try and buy some things for them. Tell them that it is included in the registration fee. If you are charging graduation fee, you need to charge graduation fee. If you want to be selling your form, you need to charge for your form. Maybe you tell them your form is 5,000, non-refundable 5,000. So these are the things you need to tell them. Always tell them your rules at first. Students can frustrate you, and telling you the truth. Always give them your terms and conditions, your policies at first, okay? Now the reason why I said you should buy some things for your students is because it is somehow that someone comes to your school and you do not provide them with any material. So if they come, you can decide to give them 4 pattern papers each, an armhole cuff, a ruler, pencil, notebook. Maybe you can customize a paper bag or a tote bag. So that is it for that. First, just try and give them something. It to give them this feeling of, okay, they are welcome, that they are ready for work. Pencils, put this pattern making, then the rest they can keep buying. So these are the tips that will help you start up your fashion school, okay? Be very, very careful when calculating your costs and expenses. It is important, because those 200k and 300k that they pay you, you will think that it is money, but by the time you spend, you will notice that that 300k is nothing, because it sounds so big to the students, but to you it is nothing, because the rent may be 1 million. You are buying fuel. This is Nigeria. You are buying fuel because they cannot come and stay idle. You are buying fuel, you are sorting bills, you recharge lights for your hostel, you provide water for your students, you will, things like that. Then when it comes to the hostel fee, that one room that you have kept for your students, what you are going to do is that, maybe to you, if the rent of the place is 1 million, tell yourself that one room is 400k. So inside that 400k, you will divide it by 4 occupants, okay? So 400k divided by 4 is 100k. So that 100k is for one person a year. Now 100k divided by 12 months, you already know that it's maybe 10,000 or 20k. So if your one room is 250k, you just like that. Then you add water, you add lights, because you'll be the one taking care of their lights, their water and all that. Maybe at the end of the day, one person may be paying you 30k per month, 20k per month. Since you are starting, we have not gotten to that prudential level. So that is how you are going to be charging your students. So at the end of the year, you should make the double of that room. Let's say the room is 400k, you should be making at least 800k, because you are the one paying for the overhead cost, water, lights, all those things, okay? But the feeding is on them. You provide bed, you provide pillow. Fashion school is not easy, but if you start, you will learn in the process. You make your mistakes. You people are even lucky that you are seeing someone that is telling you these things, because nobody taught me. I learned in the process. So if you find this video helpful, do not forget to drop a comment in the comment section, and do not forget to click on the subscribe button so that you'll be getting more interesting videos and vlogs from me. I love you all. It is Ijama. Bye.